The one thing that I thought was awesome in there as well, and everything's awesome to me, by the way, is the follow up process. That is, and I often tell people this, that apart from asking for referrals, the other aspect is the follow up process. And that is, there's two things I'll start out with here, is that, at any given time, only 5% of people are typically, up to 5% of people are looking for what you have. That means there's 95% of people that don't, are not in buy mode. Plus, there's also multiple touches that have to happen with that sort of thing. So you often, in there, you're talking about how to create a follow-up system, but kind of give us your feedback or thought, I guess, around why follow-up is important, and kind of how to set up that system, kind of as you explained it in the book as well, if you don't mind.
Sure. So as you mentioned, follow-up is so important because people aren't always ready to buy what you're selling. They might be ready, 5 months from now, 5 years from now. And that, especially if you're selling a relationship, especially if you're offering a service, people need to be able to feel like that relationship is developed, and they're usually not ready after meeting with you for one time. It's kind of like if you go on one date and ask someone to marry you, it's probably jumping the gun a little bit. So people need to build that relationship over time in order to have that trust and that commitment level to go to the next step and purchase from you. So the keep in touch process is so important. And it's so difficult for so many of us because of many factors, one of which, of course, is disorganization. Another is some of us are just motivated by the initial, we like that initial contact, but then we kind of drop the ball. And often it's a matter of just not having the right system in place and knowing how your potential client or customer likes to be contacted. So sometimes people might say, okay, I'm going to do a follow-up email, and they email, 5 times a week, and then the people unsubscribe because it's too much for them. So you really have to create a system, again, that's based on the needs and the interests of the people in your audience, that's going to provide them with ongoing value so they look forward to hearing from you and don't see every contact from you as, oh, this person's looking for a sale now, so now they're reaching out to me. You really want to be providing ongoing value.
Now, part of your system, would it be wrapped around mostly email follow-up, or do you make phone calls? Do you potentially have, I found this article and send it off to them in a letter? Or is it more, once again, know your audience, work it so that it works that way?
It is. It is knowing your audience. For example,
sorry about that.
Some of my referral partners that I work with, the way that I keep in touch with them is maybe twice a year going out to lunch with them. So it's not about constantly, doing the email marketing thing. It's about twice a year, a lunch type of thing, and maybe here and there sending them an article or something of value. For others, people who maybe you're less in touch with, people who have not yet become a referral partner or a client or customer, you might be more focused on your email system and making sure that you're giving them great content, great tips, great value, twice a month, that kind of thing. So it's about knowing what that person's needs are and also kind of knowing where you are in the relationship, if you're building the relationship or if you're maintaining the relationship.